Hello, Libra. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Libra is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Nine of Swords. Don't freak out. I know it's not the best card that we could get, right? But I think it's an okay place to start from, because at least we're aware that something isn't right. We're aware that the world needs to shift. Our world needs to shift. That we're sort of, this is the value of despair. Okay? This is when we're in that kind of, let's just call it discomfort of life, when we're losing sleep, right? When we feel that things are against us, the world is against us, people are against us, we realize that things have to shift. Okay? This is that moment where we sort of wake up in the middle of the night and we just think, I can't take it anymore. Something's got to be different. Okay? So I think that you're at that point where you recognize that something needs to change here. Because what comes after the Nine of Swords? The Ten of Swords, breaking free of this mental, prison that we've created for ourselves. Breaking free of that energy that's holding us back. Because this is a mental thing, okay? It's the Swords cards. It's in our mind. It's the way we're thinking. It's our subjective experience. Maybe we feel like the world is literally just like throwing daggers at us all the time, okay? But this is a good place to begin, because at least it says we've woken up to the reality of our situation, and now we can make some positive changes. Now the energy can shift. Now we got a Wheel of Fortune. Look at that. You see how Spirit works? That's wonderful. We have to wake up and realize things, and now it sets the wheels in motion. Beautiful. And look at that. We've got your Adjustment card, your Justice card. That is the Libra Power card. This is the card that rules the sign of Libra. So this is like your true self is ready to break forth and take the wheel here. We have another wheel shape with an Ace of Pentacles, a Four of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man. So your energy is greatly shifting. I think you're realizing too that the way you think about life, the way you look at life, is really going to create the reality of life. Okay? Here we have a Three of Pentacles. We have the Lust or Strength card. We have another Leo energy. Both of these are Leo cards, Prince of Wands and the Strength card. Okay, so Leo and the Seven of Cups. Leo is a very strong influence in your life right now. You may be in a partnership with a Leo person. There could be somebody in your life, maybe a friend or a family member, that is either here in the physical plane or has even passed into the spiritual plane, that is a Leo person, very close to you. Okay? Strong influence, the Leo energy. I would watch the Leo reading if I were you. This is extraordinary. And I think with the Nine of Swords, I think we're realizing that what we think about, the way we view the world, our habits of thinking are going to bring more of that same energy, right? We have to be aware of what we're attracting to us. Okay, so we definitely need some positive thinking. Okay, but we need to make some changes. Things need to start moving in the right direction. I think waking up to the reality is the first step. Okay, now let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it here with Jimbo, the Lizard King, aka Mr. Lizard, right there on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this program you feel like You know what that card might be. Put your prediction down in the comments below. Now, let's take a look around the room, because our major arcana are several. We have, of course, your superpower, your discernment, right? This idea of karma, of justice, of balance, of rebalancing our life, a shifting of energy, right? That's exactly it. The world is shifting. Your world is shifting. We have the Wheel of Fortune. That wheel is going to start turning in your favor. We have the Hanged Man, which is a surrender and a sacrifice, but also a change of perspective. Okay. Going from what looks like a lamentation, a falling, a failing, a sinking, going kind of further down the spiral, we have triumph. We have an emergence. This, what this card, what this looks when I shift the Hanged Man upside down. It reminds me of the symbol of the Dave Matthews Band, like whatever that is, like the dancer thing that they use for their symbol. I love that band. Shout out to Dave and the gang, especially Carter. But I think that this is really it. It's kind of like that we're realizing that once we've gotten to the bottom of the pool, we push ourselves back up to the top. Okay? And I think that this is, maybe we'll leave this card, right side up, I don't read reversals. I think the energy of the cards depends. Every card has light and shadow, first of all. I think it all depends on what cards are next to it, above it, below it, around it. Everything, context is everything, right? One Hanged Man by itself doesn't tell us much. We can do a discourse, a scholarly, academic discourse on this card, but it doesn't mean much without context, okay? And so, with the Hanged Man, we'll flip it upside down if we want to, because the reversal isn't going to change the energy of the card. Okay? What changes the energy of the card, what gives it the sort of details that it does, or that it has, is its position, its relationship next to other things. Its context. This is the future position. Okay? When we are looking forward at life, we could be very pessimistic and think things are going to get worse. Things are going to sink down, down, down. Okay? But with the addition of the Wheel of Fortune, we're sort of changing. We're going to shift the way we're looking at life, and we're going to think, okay, life's going to get better, 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 better. We're going to see things improving. Okay? Your luck is changing. Your world is shifting. So anyway, for all you purists out there, we'll leave the Hanged Man that way. So we've got our majors. Anyway, we've got the courage here, and our sacrifice. We've got our luck, our fortune, our blessings from the universe, and we've got our discernment and our karma. We've got fire. We've got some water. We've got some air, and we've got our earth, and earth. Okay. So first of all, these two. I think that lately you've been feeling like you've been at the bottom of the wheel, between the rubber and the road. I think all of that is changing now. I think Spirit is sending a lot of confirmations your way. You're going to start seeing more green lights. You're going to start to see a lot more doors where there weren't any doors. But if we are lamenting, if we are holding our head in our hands like this, we're not going to be able to see, right? We have to look up. Spirit wants you to look up now and look around and see the blessings and the miracles. See the people that are in your life that are there supporting you and encouraging you, trying to rally you on, right? Things are going to get a lot better for you, okay? You are intentionally making a shift in your own energy. You're intentionally raising your vibrations. You're not going to sink to the level of the Nine of Swords. I think that we're allowing ourselves to kind of pop out the other side. We're allowing the Ten of Swords to take over and break us free of this this despair, right? And it's, there is a value in despair, and I know that seems cliche, or if it seems like it's kind of minimizing your pain. It's not meant to. What it's meant to do is say, look, there's value in that feeling, because it means that we recognize that something isn't right, and we can change it. We can't change other people. We can't control what other people do, but we can control our thoughts and our behaviors, our thoughts, words, and deeds, which, guess what? Those are our seeds of karma. The thoughts, words, and deeds, right? Those are the karmic seeds. And speaking of that, well, you have your Libra energy underneath. You understand the concept. You understand that the things we think about are going to be the things that we attract. The mind doesn't forget anything, right? Every thought we have is a carving being etched into our souls. And so I think that there's a need for us to sort of get motivated and make some changes. And I think a lot of things need to change right now. I think you're putting in work to embrace the shift. The energy is shifting around you, but it's up to you to harmonize and balance and rebalance and align yourself with the changing energies around you. Okay? Spirit is sending this wonderful Jupiter energy to you. Okay? Spirit is sending that spirit of great good fortune. Major upgrades are taking place. The machine, right? The spiritual machine is turning. You've got to balance and align yourself with that. Okay? And we will rise instead of sink further down. And I kind of wonder if we've sunk so far down that the only way to go is back up. Okay? The scales have been tipped too far to one side. We've got to restore that balance. This is your ability to be discerning. This is your ability to recognize all of your thoughts, words, and deeds, and to understand how they are creating your future. Every thought, word, and deed is creating who we are, where we are, and what we're doing down the road. Okay? And I'm not saying that this is all your fault. I'm not saying that the current situation that you're in is because of your past thoughts, words, and deeds. I mean, in a way, it's not because of that, right? I think that our intention, it's our responsibility to change what we can change in the moment and not worry about what happened in the past. Because I wonder if there's a connection to something in the past for you. That's where we're getting this Ace of Pentacles and this Nine of Swords. These two cards together say that we are really upset about something that has already happened. And maybe this was a betrayal. Maybe this was a breakup. Maybe this was an argument, something that just was not a positive thing. All right? But if we continue to believe that that is the only truth of the world, then that's going to be the energy that we attract to ourselves. Okay? So this isn't about something from the past causing, something that you did in the past causing your current state. I think this is about how we can use this present state to get a handle on our thoughts, the things we tell ourselves, the beliefs that we have. Okay? And we can change our future. And I think that it's really an alignment right now. And I think when we're in this sort of despair of the Nine of Swords, very often we appeal to the divine. Okay? And very often we appeal to, I'm going to cry now. Very often we appeal to the divine and we say, universe, God, goddess, deity, great spirit in the sky, guardian angels, spirit guide, help me. You know? Help me get through this. I don't know what to do. I'm at my wit's end. I'm at the rock bottom here. Help me. Okay? And I've been there too when I had my liver transplant. It was a rock bottom moment for me, and I appealed to the universe and I said, help me. I don't know what to do. I need help. And very often the help doesn't come in the form we think it does. Right? The form says, okay, here's some opportunities. Here's some choices. Here's some doors for you to go through. You got to get up and go through them. Okay? And what I did was I went in the other direction. I did not go through those doors. And things got infinitely worse. But it was even through those worse, the worst circumstances, the worst of the worst for me. Right? Where I was dead for a certain period of time. And that was kind of the worst thing that I can imagine, right? It was just kind of, it was so far down the pit that I thought there was no getting out of it. That was the moment where I think Spirit showed me another way. Spirit showed me another way of approaching life, and even in the most painful experiences and moments inside of ourselves. This is a mental thing. This is kind of our interior experience right now. Even in these moments, that's a great energy. that Nine of Swords. It's intense energy of an unpleasant kind, yeah. What if we were to take that energy and apply it towards something that is positive and constructive? I think that's the type of energy that we can repurpose, and we can use it to spin this wheel back in our favor. Okay. I think that you're going to experience a spectacular ascent here. I think that we have to let go of the past thing that happened, even though we are still reeling from it, because we understand the karma of that if we understand that if we continue to think and think and think about this, and this is the experience that we have, and this is what we keep writing and etching into our own souls, we're going to get more of this. Okay, so there is this need to let go of something for you. The Ace of Pentacles in the background, I don't know what that was. Spirit's telling me something about a school. I'm seeing a school or some books or some kind of educational scenario. I don't know the reference to learning or school or something like that. But the Ace of Pentacles to me feels like that event. It feels like everything kind of came to a head for you, and this was that event. For me, this was the event where my organs failed. I was in the hospital, and in need of that liver transplant. This was that event. This was the event of that. Anyway, I've told the story before. For you, it could be different things. Okay, it could be anything. It's probably different for everybody. I do feel like there was breaking glass involved somewhere. I don't know. I'm seeing glass breaking on the floor, and I don't know what it's from a flower, like a flower vase or something, was thrown or it fell or something like that, but there's water and glass on the floor, yeah. This is a situation that is in the past, okay? It's not an ongoing thing. That's the important thing here. Because I feel like right now there's that Four of Pentacles. It feels to me like physically you are in a safe place. And if you're not, well, that's what you need to focus on. Get yourself to a place where you're secure. This is safety, stability, security. Okay? So it's kind of like, we're here, we're safe, but we keep having these nightmares about this thing. We keep sort of waking up in the cold sweat, and we're still upset by it. And it's going to take a while. But this is the kind of number one priority, is to make sure that you are in a safe and stable environment right now. Okay? There are resources out there for you if you're still in any kind of a crisis. There's a phone number in my video description that you can call. There are things out there for you if you're in need. Okay? So this has to be the number one priority. Okay? And I think in a lot of ways what you're sort of looking for in life is just stability. You're looking for a good foundation, a good home base from which you can live your life, and you can embrace, the changes of life and work on yourself and build yourself up and build up this world around you. The energy is shifting for you. This is the card of earthly power. Okay? Material resources, your ability to do the things. This is kind of, I have the means. Now what do I want to do with those means, right? We could be talking about a financial situation here. Maybe this was a financial loss, Maybe this was, it could be something related to health or wealth, okay, fitness or finances that we're talking about. But your luck is changing. Let's focus on the good. Let's focus on the upgrades, right? Major upgrades, major shifts. Okay, the first thing that's going to happen is that you're going to recover from that, whatever that loss was. I feel like you lost $1, but you found $100. Okay, so you're going to be restored to a stable position from there, and then I think you're going to be called upon to invest. Okay, you're investing time, effort, energy, and/or money, and if the energy is shifting around you, it is kind of a surrender to that energy and to realign yourself. To find the balance, to realign yourself with the energy that's around you, the energy of abundance, the energy of wealth and prosperity. See, if we're in a scarcity mindset, we're going to attract scarcity. If we are in an abundance mindset, we are going to attract abundance. Okay? And I think the thoughts that we have are going to really determine everything here. Okay? If you hold it in your mind long enough, eventually you will hold it in your hand. That is fate. That is karma. That is destiny. And so, and really we have to do something about this negative state of mind, because it could be that we are attracting the same thing, that we believe we're at the bottom of the wheel, and that's all we're sort of focused on, and that's where we're going to stay. Even if we're saying, I don't want to be at the bottom of the wheel, the only thing that the subconscious mind hears is bottom of the wheel, bottom of the wheel, bottom of the wheel. You know, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke. So we need to have an abundance mindset, and we will attract more of that. Okay, we are magnetizing ourselves in that, with that abundance mindset. We need to do something about that Nine of Swords. Let's do a Language of Flowers affirmation card. I haven't pulled these out in a while. Resignation. Say goodbye to what you no longer need. Okay, yeah, first step. First step, saying goodbye to what's holding you back. Say goodbye to that thing that happened, or that loss, or that event that we do not wish to repeat. Okay? We have to stop thinking about it. There's no more lessons to be learned there. Now it's just a matter of we keep thinking about it, and we're just attracting more and more and more to it. We're making ourselves feel worse and worse and worse about it. Whether it's your fault, someone else's fault, or just sort of a random event, let it go. Okay? Let's do a botanical inspiration card. We have the iris, rainbows and messages. When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. You can either lament the darkness, you can lament the rain, or you can look for the rainbows and look for the stars. Okay? And that's what we're doing with the Wheel of Fortune. And I think it really is going to turn our energy around. Major, I think, reversal of energies, major upgrade rather than a downgrade. Okay? And you're going to see that this financial situation, I believe it's financial more than anything else. I believe that it's improving. Okay? It is going to require your effort. This is the sun in Capricorn. You're sort of recognizing like, okay, this is what I need to do. These are the steps I need to take. Boom, 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 boom. We're getting motivated again. We're saying, I'm done. I'm done with that kind of like loser mindset. I'm winner mindset, abundance mindset, high vibrational focus. And now I know what I got to do. I got to do A, B, C, D, E. That's what I'm going to do. We're motivating ourselves here, okay? And we see a lot of that fiery motivation over here on the path of the serpent, which we're going to talk about now. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. These readings are free. Start a gratitude journal. Not a journal, not a woe is me, pity party journal. Start a gratitude journal. Start a journal of blessings instead of a journal where you write down all the curses. Write down all the blessings. Write down all the miracles that are happening in your life right now. No matter how indirectly, no matter how much of a stretch you have to make it. You know, there was a bird outside my window this morning. Gratitude, abundance, right? Write that stuff down. We're shifting our thoughts. We're aligning ourselves to the positive energy of the universe that loves you and that wants you to succeed. Okay? We are upgrading our thoughts, upgrading our life. The general energy is the Three of Pentacles. Again, what do I got to do? I'm ready to work. You know, we're showing up on time, already warmed up, ready to work. Okay, this is another very strong Capricorn energy. I would watch both the Leo and the Capricorn readings if I were you, Libra. Leo and Capricorn. This is the Sun and Mars in Capricorn. And Capricorn is saying, okay, you know what? I've made the list. I know all the steps I need to take to reach the next milestone, to reach the next upgrade level. Right? I know what I got to do, and here I'm ready to do it. Give me the tools. When can I clock in? I'm ready to go. I'm just going to show up early and start doing it. You don't even have to pay me. I'm going to do it. You know, this is that motivation. Okay, this is Mars in Capricorn. It's kind of like saying, I'm not going to take no for an answer. I'm not going to really ourselves. This is like we're being firm with ourselves here. This is a martial energy. We're sort of grabbing ourselves by the collar and we're throwing ourselves up the mountain. Because when we're losing sleep at night and we're having the nightmare and we're in despair and this lamentation, it's just saying it's hopeless. I don't even care. I don't even want to do it anymore. And we're demotivating ourselves. We're downgrading our energy by thinking that way. Okay? Because it's like I try to do it and I don't want to do it anymore. Okay? We don't want it. We're trying to climb to the next resting place in our journey. Maybe we've started the journey, but it's getting too hard. There was a loss. Something happened. And now we're in that 9 of Swords, which just says, I don't even want to do it. You know? And trust me, we've all been there. Right? And how often have I started to kind of go to the gym? I'm going to go to the gym every day. And I do it. A few months go by. I'm going to the gym every single day. And then what? I get sick. And I'm in bed, and I'm just like, oh, I feel like I'm terrible. I feel terrible. And a few days go by where I don't go to the gym because I was sick. You know, took a few days off. But then after that, I wake up and I feel like, oh gosh, I'm already out of the habit. I've already wasted a week being sick, and woe is me. Pity party, woe is me. I haven't gone to the gym in a week. I could go right now today. I can get up and do it. I'm not going to reach that level of stability. I'm not going to reach that level of, the next milestone. I'm not going to develop this thing into a habit if I just am kind of laying in bed feeling sorry for myself, right? And trust me, I've been there. And in a lot of ways, I am still there. A lot of ways, I'm still working to build into my life those positive habits that are going to continue to upgrade my energy. It's a lifelong struggle. No one's perfect. And this isn't just about one thing. This is about a lot of things. This reading applies to anything that you might be trying to do that we're not feeling motivated to do right now. Because something happened, because it's been a few days, because it was too hard, or I was too tired, or I got sick. I fell out of the habit, and now it's difficult for me to get back in the habit because I'm in that 9 of Swords mindset. Okay? This is the courage. This is your kind of lust for action. This is just like... we have to believe the energy is out there that says you can do anything you want. You can achieve. You can succeed. You can be the best version of yourself. We've got to align ourselves with that belief. We've got to align ourselves with that mindset and then start doing those behaviors and start working in that manner. Not from a scarcity mindset that says I'm a loser and I'm trying to become a winner. No, that says I'm a winner and I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to live as a winner. I'm trying to be that person that I want to be. And it's not, competition, winners and losers. This is all happening inside. This is all about how we talk to ourselves. That if I believe I'm a loser, I will attract that I'll attract that reality. If I believe that I'm capable, if I believe that I'm strong and powerful, if I align my energy with that universal energy that's out there, if I can tap into that frequency and that vibration, I will attract that to me. Okay? This is the art and science of manifestation. Okay? So we have to believe. This is the strength card, the lust card that says, I can reach up into the night sky and I can pluck out a star and put it in my pocket. That's how powerful I am. Now, of course, this can become, like a hubris and an arrogance and this feeling of invincibility, which, we have to be prepared to get knocked back down on our butts again, right? And that's part of it. Failing is part of success. Failure and setbacks and despair is the motivation for success. The failure is the crucial part of success. The only way to achieve greatness in your life is to fail. This is what? It sounds counterintuitive, right? You win by not winning. Doesn't make any sense. But it's true because we have to push ourselves. We have to believe that we are already that person, the best version of ourselves. We have to have an abundance mindset. And we have to approach our work with that mindset. We get knocked back down on our butt. And then guess what? Every time we get up again, we're stronger. Every time we get up again, we're larger, we're more capable, we're more powerful, we're smarter, we're faster. If we stay down on the mat, we didn't grow. We're not growing at all. We're sinking into the mat. You take if you're in any kind of a sport or a martial art or something, you know what I'm talking about. If you're in business, if you're alive, you know what I'm talking about. We get knocked down on our butts so many times. It's just about getting back up again. and realizing that we are growing more and more and more and stronger and more powerful every time we get up. So it's kind of like I want to get knocked down because I want to feel the power and the strength of me getting up again. Yeah. So we have this very strong Leo energy. And I think that it's difficult to sustain that because of it, especially if we get knocked down so many times that we just kind of we're losing sleep over it. We're stressed out. We feel that Nine of Swords energy, which we're trying to kind of cover that up, but that is the primary culprit here. It's the thought process. It's how we are thinking about ourselves and the world around us. Okay? We have to change and shift how we're thinking about ourselves. We are tuned into the wrong vibrations. We have to tune into the right vibrations. Now, the Prince of Wands here in the obstacle, it's difficult to sustain interest over the long term, especially when we're not getting the rewards. Let's say if you keep getting knocked down at jiu-jitsu, how many times are you going to keep going back to jiu-jitsu? If you keep trying to break into the publishing industry or the music industry, and every time you try, you get rejected. Every time you try to, send your demo tape to somebody, they say, this is crap, I don't like it. Like, eventually it's going to wear you down, right? So this is the this is the challenge of the universe. It's saying you can be the greatest, the greatest thing. You can make these achievements. You can break through to the publishing industry, the music industry. You can be the greatest at jiu-jitsu. You can be the greatest version of yourself in those areas. Doesn't mean you're going to be like the #1 selling artist in the world or whatever. I mean, you could be. If you are, don't forget about me. But that's not the point. The point is to be the best version of that I can be. I can be the best jiu-jitsu person that I can be, but it's not likely I'm going to win any kind of world titles or anything, right? I mean, my age, my physical structure of my body, I mean, it's possible, sure, but that's not the goal. The goal is to be the best at it that I can be, to always be kind of making that forward progress. But when we get those setbacks, it wears us thin. It really tests our motivation and our commitment. This is the card of commitment. This is that fixed fire energy that says, no matter what, I'm doing it. I'm motivating myself even when I don't feel motivated. That Nine of Swords is like the kid who's just saying, I'm sick, I don't want to go to school today. I don't want to get out of bed and go to work. It's not worth it. I don't care anymore. I don't want to do it. And of course, then we've got this Knight, the Prince of Wands that's saying, I'm doing it anyway. And I'm moving forward with a consistency, and I know that I'm going to have days where I don't want to get out of bed. I know that I'm going to have days where I get knocked down on the mat so many times that I just want to... my daughter's in jiu-jitsu. She's 4 years old. And the other night she was playing... They do their jiu-jitsu, then on Friday nights they have free play, which they just play games like tag and dodgeball and stuff. And they were playing tag, and my daughter kept getting tagged out. And then as soon as she would get back in, someone would tag her. And then she started getting frustrated. So she just folded her arms and she turned and she faced the wall for like 5 minutes. And she wouldn't move. She was so upset that she kept getting tagged, But then, eventually she gets out of that energy because we told her, like, look, everybody is getting tagged a lot. That's the game, And every time you get unfrozen, you go harder, and you run faster, and you move out of the way, and you're learning, and everybody's getting tagged. Like that's part of the fun in it, She loves to have people chase her, but she doesn't want people to ever catch her. And so she's learning like how that is part of the process, and how that's kind of like, imagine playing a game of tag where you never actually caught the person. You never got to tag anybody. You're just chasing somebody around and around and around in a circle. Eventually, it's no fun. I give up. So, but then again, when you get tagged 3 or 4 or 5 times in a row, you get frustrated and you want to just sit there and be like, I hate this game. I don't want to play anymore. Eventually that feeling wears off and we realize that, no, I do want to play. It's either it's fun or this is what I want to do or I like this, I don't like getting tagged so many times in a row, but I want to stick with this. I want to keep doing it, and that's kind of where we're at with our That's where we're at with our Prince of Wands. But the next card is that Seven of Cups. And the Prince of Wands can get stuck in the mud very often. And it's when we get stuck in the mud, that's when it really matters. It's when we get demotivated. It's when we inevitably get a loss or setback, we get thrown down to the mat, or we get tagged, we get frozen in the game, or someone hits us with a dodgeball and we're out. These are those moments where it really matters. These are the moments where our choices and our alignment and our vibrations really are going to be put to the test, and we may spend a week, a month, a year in a low vibrational, demotivated, I don't want to do it, I don't care, I'm not playing the game kind of state. The quicker we're able to recover from this and realign our energies and readjust our mindset, and this is really about the adjustment, right? Adjusting our mindset, adjusting our frame of reference, and getting through the mud, the quicker we'll be making the progress to the next waypoint on our journey. Okay. I think the Seven of Cups too is kind of like we're not slowing down. I want to always be making progress. Even in those moments where we're feeling those setbacks, we're feeling like we've been thrown down on the mat. We're trying to see the benefit in all of that. There's still a lot of love there, and I think that it's difficult in the moments of, let's say, despair or pain or sorrow, heartbreak, in the moments of suffering, in the moments of experiencing the unpleasant swamp. It's difficult to realize that the universe loves us. This card, strangely enough, is a Venus energy. And sometimes this card is literally about it's about addiction, or I'm overindulging in things that taste good, but they're not good for me, This is also the reverse of that. This is about realizing that things that don't feel good sometimes are good for me, and it's hard to realize that. Things that taste good aren't always good for your health, right? Too much of it anyway. Ice cream, right, for me. But the negative, the unpleasant things sometimes are very good for us. But again, too much of a bad thing is gonna ruin it for us, So we have to try to push forward through it and not make a bad thing worse by dwelling on it, lamenting it, and losing so much sleep over it. It may take us a few days to recover, but let's recover. Let's realign our vibrations and get back to it. Otherwise, we're repeating the process. Something that hurts us once now is hurting us 100 times because we're thinking about it all day, every day, and we're losing sleep over it, and we're having nightmares about it, and we're not letting it go. Too much of a bad thing is going to kill our motivation, just like too much of a good thing is going to kill our motivation, right? Because we're going to get stuck in a negative loop. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card here. Major upgrades coming your way. We have to realign that energy. I want an Ace of Swords. I think the Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands probably for this. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. Oh, the Chariot. The continuation of the journey, the fortification that says I am protecting myself against the negative energy. I'm on this path, and I'm going to travel over some rough road, but I got a good set of tires. I'm going to probably go through some swamps, go through some mud, but my vehicle is prepared for the off-road journey. We're fortified against the setbacks that we will inevitably find. So this to me feels like it's a devotion, and it's a devotion and it's a commitment to the path that we're on. Okay, we are in service to something higher that, yes, I have this higher ideal in my life. Let's say to be the greatest I can be at jiu-jitsu, And I know that to honor that ideal and to serve that higher purpose, I'm going to get knocked down sometimes. I'm going to win some, I'm going to lose some. I have good days and bad days. If I linger too long in the good days or in the bad days, I'm not making progress. I'm not honoring that. I'm succumbing to the fluctuation of emotions rather than feeling them, letting them go, and continuing, keeping my eyes set on that higher purpose. It's almost a selfish indulgence to let ourselves be swallowed up by any emotion, whether it's a positive or a negative feeling, the fluctuating emotions of pleasant, unpleasant, right? And that's different than just kind of the joy and the bliss of serving that higher purpose, the love and the generosity and the connectedness. That's different here. But this is kind of like the unpleasant things. I don't want to linger too long on those unpleasant things. I need to continue on the journey. To stay in alignment with that higher purpose. Okay? And continue to next level, continue upgrading our lives. All right. Now, we're going to do an extended reading. We'll do an I Ching reading. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link up top, and there's a link down below. New readings for Libra on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. All right? Got to see how this energy continues. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.